G'day there, Jason the Middle-Aged Gear Junkie here. A couple of years ago, Fender brought out a new line of pedals which they've been adding to ever since, and I've heard a lot of good things about them, so I decided to get my hands on a few of them to see what they're all about. Now, the ones we're going to be looking at today are the Fender Pugilist Distortion, the Pelt Fuzz, and the Level Set Buffer. The Fender Pugilist has two different drive circuits, side A and side B, and the idea is that you blend them together to find your ideal tone. So I'm going to start off with side A, I'm going to show you what that sounds like, then I'll show you what side B sounds like, and then we'll blend them together in a couple of different ways. So first, here's my clean sound. That's my Fender Deluxe. Alright, let's go. And to me, that kind of sounds like a cranked up AC30 or something like that, something Class A. If I wind the gain down a bit, it's very mild, sort of mild classic sort of gain, that is. Yeah, and it has a bass boost. I think once you get up to those higher gain levels, I think you need that bass boost. But it's a fairly bright and present sounding overdrive, side A. And like I said, I think it sounds like a crank tube amp. I think it really does have that amp-like quality. But side B, okay, over here. Okay, well, it's a bit noisier, but it's definitely got a hell of a lot of gain. Yeah, side B is definitely more like a high gain distortion pedal. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to blend them together. So in the middle, that's 50-50. Okay, obviously more towards B, I'll get more of this circuit, and more towards A, I'll get more of A circuit. Okay, so yeah, it's definitely chunky. Now, I'm just going to switch to humbuckers. All right, with humbuckers. Yeah, that's mighty. When I put this into series mode, it's going to be like cascading one pedal into another. Kind of like if you had two separate pedals. That is ballsy. That sounds amazing. I love it. All right, the Pelt Fuzz. Okay, so the fuzz on tap, we have, this is all the way up. You can thicken it up if you want to do that. Back the fuzz off a little bit. A unique feature to this pedal is the bloom knob. Now this basically controls how much it splutters. If I turn it all the way down, it's fairly neutral. And so it really makes it a bit more gnarly and a bit more saturated, I think. If I was to kick the thick knob on as well, it would probably really get... Yeah, it's got that real sort of broken guitar signal type sound. Now, the mid toggle switch, okay, this is a three-way toggle switch. We can scoop the mids, kind of like a big muff. Or we can push the mids. Yeah, cool. I like it with the sort of pushed mids. That reminds me of a fuzz face with the tube screamer in front. Definitely a cool sound. I think I actually like it more with single coils. Yeah, I think it's a little bit more responsive with single coils. This is straight into the amp. Now my signal's passing through 15 pedals. They're all off. Some of them are true bypass and some of them aren't. And as you can hear, the pedal board has really sort of sucked the life out of the top end. It's not as jangly in the top end. Now I'm still running through all of those pedals, but now I've got the level set buffer on. And that's helped to replace a lot of that really high end that gets lost in long cable runs and in large pedal boards. I was really blown away with how good the Pugilist sounds. This thing is amazing. I'm not a huge distortion pedal fan, but I really, really like this. It's not the first pedal to have dual gain stages, but it uses it in a really interesting and original way. How you can blend, the blend knob is kind of like a balance knob that helps you balance between the two stages if you have them in blend mode or in parallel. And then of course you can have them in series where it's like two separate pedals that are being stacked together. The fact that both sides sound completely different. A sounds more like a cranked sort of Vox AC30 or something like that, and side B sounds like a really tight, heavy distortion. You put the two together and they sound amazing. So well done, Fender. That's great, and that's going to be on my board for a while, I think. If you've seen some of my older videos, you'll know that I'm not a particularly big fan of fuzz. I've never found one that I can really bond with, but this one's really, really tweakable. I mean, I didn't expect Fender to come up with such a good fuzz pedal, really. This is amazing, and I really like this toggle switch, which really helps you sort of adjust the mids. So in the middle position, it's neutral, down, it's scooped, and up, it's pushed, kind of like having a tube screamer in front of like a fuzz face or something like that. This bloom knob too, this is really cool. I mean, you can go from fairly smooth fuzz tones to really spluttery fuzz tones. And when you turn that fuzz right up and you have that right over as well, and you put it on thick mode, it becomes really gnarly and really, I don't know, sort of really thick. Probably not the sort of thing that I like, but you know, I prefer those smoother fuzz tones. But yeah, definitely tweakable, and if you're really into your fuzz, this might be worth a shot. So check it out, the Pelt Fuzz. The level set buffer is really, really underrated. I've owned a few buffers in the past and none of them have any kind of control whatsoever. So you plug into them and they do their thing. Whereas this one actually gives you the option of dialing in as much or as little upper frequencies as you like, which I think that's really, really useful. I mean, I can, you know, if I plug in a few extra pedals and I lose a bit more top end, I can just crank that up a little bit more. So very, very tweakable, very, very usable. And I think it does a really good job of replacing that top end. I mean, it's not quite the same as going straight into your amplifier, but you can never really totally replicate that when you're running through a large pedal board of 15 or so pedals. The other thing that I didn't mention about all these pedals have is a really easy access battery door, which you're not going to lose because it uses magnets to keep into place. So that's really, really easy to get into. If you're using batteries and you're running flat, you can just whip that open. You don't need a screwdriver. You could do it on stage if you had to. The only thing I'll say about this pedal that I don't like is that LED is way too bright. It really does burn your retinas, so you don't look at it when you're playing. It also has a tuner out so that you don't have to have your tuner in your signal chain if you don't want. But you know, fantastic pedal, and it's definitely found a place on my board. So well done to Fender. They've come up with a bunch of new designs that aren't particularly derivative of older pedals that tend to get copied all the time, and they've come up with their own thing, and I really respect them for that, so well done. And I tell you what, they sound amazing, and they're very, very fairly priced too, so you might want to get out there and check them out. So my name's Jason. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, and you can join us on the Middle Age Gear Junkie Facebook page. I'll leave the link in the description. Anyway, my name's Jason, and have a great day.